Every year I return to check out Bellwright, the medieval survival crafting game with optional co-op. But this year they've released a huge new update with a brand new map to explore. And after you sail there with your companions on your maiden voyage, you'll find an entirely new storyline with different factions that you can choose to side with. But if you haven't heard of Bellwright before, the devs have sponsored me to give you a quick breakdown before we jump into the new content. After creating your character in character creation, you'll jump into the open world where you'll be able to start building things by hand. It has all the survival mechanics you'd expect, like cutting down the trees, watching them fall over, and then chopping them into smaller logs. But then when you're actually building, you have to individually place every stick and item so you can really see what you're making come together. In the meantime, you're going to want to start building relations with the local villagers by helping them out, going on quests and killing local bandits. Then you'll earn enough renown that some of those villagers will be recruitable, and each peasant actually has their own skill set which you can develop, and you can instruct them to do everything from mining to guarding the village from raiders. As you adapt to the changing seasons and progress your research skill tree, you'll be able to unlock new buildings like the Armory, and then you can automate a whole production line, like telling the peasants to go and mine ore, smelt it into ingots, and then start arming your warriors with shields, bows, or crossbows. And if you are coming back and you haven't played in a while, the game has received tons of other quality of life improvements, updates, graphics, fast travel points, and much more. You can erect walls around your settlements and eventually build a huge village and an army strong enough to rebel against the crown. Commanding your army's movement is almost like an RTS game. You can command them to follow, split them into different groups and get a group of archers to wait to ambush the enemy. And Bellwright has a directional combat system where you can attack and block from different directions, which is very satisfying to master, and they've actually improved it massively since the last time I played. It's much more easy to get to grips with now. But you are not a godlike hero, you'll still need the help of your recruits and companions in battle. But that said, you can now customize lots of elements of the game in the menu. Like if you don't want to eat very often, or you want to do more damage in combat, increase the frequency of raids and other things. And that brings us on to today, the release of the new Maiden Voyage update. Here's how you can start it for yourself. And also, just so you know, if you do like what you see here, you can use my link below to get 34% off Bellwright until the 17th of December. And that is the biggest sale they've had since launch. Now, before we summon the Battle Brothers and proceed forth into the new map, I just wanted to show you a few things that the developers have added over the last few months. So as you can see, we're currently on the old map here, and you can see an extremely large settlement with all the NPCs wandering around fulfilling their daily tasks. You can now buy and keep your own livestock. So this bull right here, you can actually tell it to follow you and then he'll follow you around, which is pretty awesome. And this one in the pen, she's currently pregnant. So this one over here is a calf. They do grow up over time. And if you don't like one of them for whatever reason, you can just slaughter him. Get wrecked, son. That's 328 kilograms of cow that I've just butchered. That's a lot of meat, son. And now we have a little goose and chicken coop farm as well. Oh, look, this one, it's a little knob, look. Why is he called Knob? And you can come over here and we can harvest all the eggs. There's currently none in there. I think the settlers have probably already harvested them. You can also choose to slaughter them, but I'm not going to brutally slaughter their mother in front of them. That would be a bit savage. This guy over here is now butchering a goose from my chicken coop. Another thing they've added to the game is ships. So now you can use ships to actually get all of your troops across the map and even set sail across the seas to the new land, which I'll show you later on. But if we carry on down the pier here, we can find a little fisherman's hut, and you'll be able to buy yourself a fishing rod and some fishing bait and earthworms. And we can put this in our quick slots, go ahead and get it out and go fishing, because there's actually a new mini game here. Let's go ahead and cast into the water in front of us and then wait for a bite. And it's quite a chill mini game, like you can just sit and chill out until you get a bite. And then I actually really do enjoy the fishing mechanic on this one. So you've got to hold down the cursor and you've got to keep it between the yellow zone just here until you catch the fish, which is quite difficult. You basically just hold the click to go to the right and then let go to go to the left. There we go. We caught the fish there. A crimson dartfish, which occurs in rivers and lakes. Another thing you'll notice is that the wildlife, as you can see, like I'm walking towards it, when these rabbits see me, they're going to run away now. So the AI wildlife is a lot smarter. They're going to flee from you, run for cover. So you've actually got to sneak up on them a lot more with your bow. Speaking of, let's get our longbow out. See if we can get him. Fire just above. Oh, don't move. I think we missed that. He's been spooked by the arrow. Okay, so I can see some unstartled deers on the hilltops here. See if we can get a nice shot at him with our longbow. Oh, I must have sailed straight over his head. Here we go. Yes! Let's go and claim our bounty. Also, there's now like a blue glowing area so you can actually see where the deer is and it's not lost in the grass. So we're going to pick up this carcass. We could skin it here, but it takes up less room if we pick it up. And then we can go ahead and head back to our base with our carcass. And we can go ahead and add the deer carcass onto the butcher rack like so. It's pretty damn awesome that it'll get set up here. And we can just start butchering it. Get wrecked. Alternatively, we could also just leave it here for one of our peasants to do. But I just wanted to show you guys how this works. And now we're done with butchering, we have option to take every single bit of the animals. So you've got 6 raw pieces of meat, the 6 hides, and all of the raw meat too. Or we can just leave it for our settlers to go and put it into cold storage. And the NPCs, now when they actually catch something like this wolf here, they actually carry it over their shoulders to the rack and they'll put it up and start butchering it. So you don't carry them yourself like that because they just go into your inventory. So I've also got a wolf here. Drop it on the floor. One of my settlers will just pick that up and butcher it. And then the smaller fish we caught earlier, you can just go ahead and add that to the table and butcher it over here. And then you get your filleting knife out and start cutting the fish very aggressively. And then it gets put on the butcher hook there and you can just go ahead and take the fish fillets. Okay, battle brothers, we are ready to muster the Rohirrim. Let's go ahead and open up and raise our companions so they'll come and join us over at the flagpole in the center of the village. 10 companions is all we can fit on our boat though, so this will be enough for a small force. Follow me, gentlemen. Let us proceed to battle. Let us go to the ship. We're going to take our boat over to the next dock. We can come all the way down the river here to the main ship at the dockyard. So let's fast travel to the River Dock 3 to the south. And here we are. We have arrived at the main dock where the Viking ship is ready to set sail. Look at it in all its glory. A true vessel of the Nords. Wait, battle brother. Where are you going? All right, everyone is here. Let's go ahead and depart with 10 of our companions. And now we can travel to the new location, the Halmare Isles. So here we are in the Isles at the ship's port. How dare they? Somebody has a bigger ship than us. That's quite an impressive vessel. Almost as impressive as that castle over there, which we will visit shortly. You can see the lighthouse on the top. Neutral seaport. Oh, so we can use this to actually travel. Now, we haven't unlocked any yet. This is the new map. But there are different vessels spread across the island here. The sun is rising over these new lands. Is that a drawbridge? Look at that. That looks amazing. There's also a lighthouse and a small town that we've actually landed in here. There's a few NPCs here in the little village. Welcome to Halmare Isles. Though the Isles and its people receive you kindly, settling here amidst the political turmoil is unwise. Explore the region, study its tensions, and lend your strength to the side that you deem worthy. In return, those that you aid may rally in your cause when the time comes. And if we do have a look at the new faction menu here, two of these factions are joinable. The Halmareans, who I think are the native faction who have been here for a long time. The Cassians are a pirate faction, and then the Faustgar, who own that castle I just showed you on the cliff edge. Now you can join these two factions over here, and as you can see, they have different loyalty bonuses, allowing you to trade with them or even boost inbound troop allegiances as you progress their faction loyalty. And you can also make them angry, which makes them boost their trade prices or just be at permanent war with you. So we want to choose which faction we side with, and at some point try and take the different holds of Faustgar, including the Crag Keep, which is that giant castle in the distance there. Now, I don't actually want to go to the castle yet. We'll probably do that later in the video, but I did want to see if you can actually make this drawbridge work. Open. Oh, dude, that is so sick. I actually want to go and explore those vineyards first and the beaches just over there. Oh, look, there's a little secret den through here. I didn't notice it in the shadows, but I can see a cart nearby. Wonder what we're going to find. Oh, it's like a little smuggler's cove. This is very cool. Oh, hello, what's this? Hidden stash. Dole tier alcohol, an alternative to gold on Halmare Island. Both Cassian and Halmarean merchants might want to exchange it for something valuable. Okay, so those are the faction merchants. That is interesting. There's another little old chest to loot as well with a bunch of coins. All right, so I walked over to the other beach I could see in the distance there. There's another ship sailing. What's this? Suspicious pile. Dig. Requires a tool. Did I bring my spade? No, I did not. Damn it. I will actually take this stick because I'm probably need a torch later. And there's a little dock over here with some more treasure to loot. Bunch of coin and wine. A new recipe we found. Might be able to research some more stuff using that. And these are the vineyards. So we're heading away from the castle here towards Kelmir's Nook. An ancient looking lighthouse indeed. I'm gonna get my two-handed sword out for this battle because I can see a bunch of bandits. We've got a lot of crossbows here. Just block them, get wrecked. If you block just before they hit you, you can actually stop them attacking you automatically. Now the two-handed sword is fantastic. But obviously I can't block these archery blows. Correct. Who else is up here? I think we got rid of most of them. So are these slavers then? There's a grindstone. There's also like a cage. Oh my god, there's a lady in here.
Thank you for freeing me from these chains. I thought the Isles had forgotten me, and soon the lighthouse would fall. These bandits have been swimming around here like sharks for too long. I fear I have become too suspicious of people's intentions. Take this as a thank you for your trouble, but if you've come for blessings, you're years too late.
Right.
If you've come to gawk at the exiled priestess, take your fill and leave. The beacon won't tend itself.
And the voice acting is currently AI placeholders, since it's normally the final thing that you add in game development, and Bellwright is still getting huge updates. She does also tell us about the 3 lighthouses being aligned, and it sounds like there may be some kind of cool secret to discover there. There's also some loot here. There's another chest down here with some more coins and breads. So we are very well fed at the moment. Looks like they've been holed up here for a while though. Quite a nice view. We also need to loot those peasants as well. There's another chest. Now we can go and explore up here. A long way to the top, but we have finally reached the lighthouse and it's burning strong. So I can see all the way back to the port over there, the lighthouse we climbed earlier, and Cragstone Keep from here. A little village right in front of us too. Well, now we've got our bearings, we can head over there next. So I've just come up the hill from the lighthouse and the town there. We have an even better view over the area, but I found some kind of shrine up here, surrounded by trees. Oh, lemon trees. What do lemons do? They give you mad stamina and regeneration for stamina and a bit of health. There's also cloudberries. This seems to be one of the shrines they spoke about at the pub. Wine God Shrine.
You've got the look of someone wanting to know more. Or perhaps just a drink. What'll it be?
Who is this god here?
Sorwin is the god of revelry, drink, and truth, whether you like it or not.
I
He
like
blesses
it.
enjoyment and festivity, but his gifts come with a twist. A sip of his favour can bring joy, or lay bare the deeper secrets you'd rather keep hidden.
Thank you. So let's see me now. Ah, one sec. Research finished. Orchard. Oh, so we can now make an orchard, probably in our own settlement. That's good to know. So next I headed down to the first faction settlement, which had a few patrols walking along the pathway that saved me from the local wildlife. And I was hoping I could make it there before sunset. And sure enough, eventually after the sun set, I reached the final town. And it's at this town where we'll be able to join the Halmareans faction. And they were actually the original native inhabitants of these new lands, who were forced out by the Cassian sea pirates, and their land was never returned to them. Now, I'm not going to spoil their faction questline, but early on, you start off as a nobody in this new island area. And you'll need to build up your reputation with each one of these factions, which you can do by completing their quest to unlock their exclusive merchants and their support in the coming battle. The other joinable factions are the Cassians, and they're actually hidden away in a pirate cove on the east of the island. And it's there that you're going to find their leader, the Cutlass, and her comrades who you can also assist. Now, initially the game doesn't lock you out of playing one faction or the other, so you can kind of figure out who your allegiance lie with and which one you want to support. But once you gain the Cassians' respect, you'll be able to dock at their port, which makes it much easier to transport troops further to the north of the Isles. Finally though, we have the Foulscar faction. These guys serve the Queen, and they reside in Castle Cragkey, which they have now taken for themselves, which has caused a lot of civil unrest. You'll find out exactly why as you play through the new content, but you can overthrow their leader with the help of the other factions, and that's what makes this DLC so interesting. It's the constant war between these factions, the enemy patrols fighting each other, and the choice that you need to make on who you're going to assist. I'm actually not so sure if it's also an option to try and get them both to work together to overthrow the Queen's army. But honestly, this update makes Bellwright go beyond a survival crafting game simulation, and it starts to build way more on the RPG aspects of exploring this new open world, as well as also having these cool faction battles. But you're also going to find other towns with other quests, new rare materials for crafting recipes that are exclusive to this new island. And again, you can transport all of these goods back and forth on your ship. And of course, you're going to find several new enemies to defeat in this open world. You can check out my uncut playthrough of the new update in the live stream, which I'll link below, or you can just grab the game for yourself while it's 34% off for a limited time. I'll link it down below in the description.